Assalamualaikum and hi everyone.
Waalaikumsalam. Hi, teacher.
Hi teacher, morning. Good morning. How do you guys feel today?
I feel so great today, teacher. I'm fine.
Okay, so do you have your breakfast, Aina?
Yes, teacher.
What about you, Shamimi?
No, teacher.
Why?
I wake up late.
Oh no. Tomorrow you wake up earlier, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so before we begin our lesson, let me ask you one more question. What do you think will happen if our country is being attacked by enemy?
I think that we will have no food, teacher. No shelter, maybe. And of course, teacher, we will be so scared.
Other than that,
Let me think first. Army will protect our country, teacher.
correct. All the answers are correct. Actually, in 2013, our country had been attacked by a group of armed men in Lahad Datu, Sabah. And during that time, our government had enforced army and tightened our military defense. And my uncle is one of the army that go to Lahad Datu.
Wow, it's great.
It's
amazing, teacher.
Yes, so our country had army. But what about our body? Who will protect our body from pathogen? So that is what we are going to learn today, which is body defense. So at the end of today's lesson, you should be able to first state the definition of antigen, antibody, and immunity. Second, you should be able to elaborate and communicate about the body defense mechanism. And third, you should be able to differentiate between active and passive immunity. So, for better understanding, let's take a look at the diagram that I had prepared. Okay, so we have three defense mechanisms, three lines of defense. So the first one is our skin. Our skin will protect our body from the entry of pathogen. Okay. When we are injured, our skin will cut open. The pathogen can enter our bloodstream. Okay, so in that case, the pathogen already passed the first line of defense, which is skin. We need to depend on our second line of defense, which is white blood cell. Okay, white blood cell will protect our body by performing phagocytosis. So if you take a look on the structure here, this is the phagocytosis process where white blood cells surround the pathogen and engulf it, and at the end of this process, white blood cell will digest the pathogen. So, do you think this white blood cell can fully fight the pathogen?
No, teacher, I do not think so.
Okay, correct. Therefore, we have our third line of defense, which is antibody. Antibody is a protein. Antibody is a protein produced by our immune system when it detects antigen. So, do you know what is antigen?
No, teacher. No.
Okay, so antigen is a foreign body found on the pathogens.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so when pathogen enter our body, it has a structure which is known as antigen. So this antigen will make our immune system produce an antibody. Therefore, antibody will fight against this antigen. And that is what we call as
Immunity.
correct, Shamimi. Immunity is the ability of organism to resist an infection by the action of antibodies. So, when you look at here, we have a lot of mechanism of defense, right?
Yes.
We have 3 lines of defense.
Wow, teacher, it's so great, huh?
Yes, it's really great, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to be grateful for that.
Yes.
Okay, however, there is one problem where this antibody takes a lot of time to be produced to the level that we need. Okay, so in order to faster the production of antibody, we need a process called immunization. Immunization is when the vaccine is injected in our body.
Teacher, how can vaccine give immunity to our body?
Okay, vaccine give the immunity because in the vaccine itself, it contains the antigen from the weakened or dead pathogen. So, when this antigen is inside our body, our immune system can detect it and it will produce antibody to fight against it. But don't worry, it is not dangerous because it is already weakened or it may be already dead. For further understanding regarding the immunity, we will learn about 2 types of immunity, which are
Immunity. Active and passive, right, teacher?
yes, immunity can be categorized into active and passive.
Passive.
And both active and passive can be divided into 2 more, which are natural and
Artificial.
okay. So, when it comes to active, you need to know that our antibody is produced by our own body. Okay, let's take a look on the first immunity, which is active natural immunity. So, the situation is when we are recovered from for example, from chickenpox. So, when we recover from chickenpox, we will develop the antibody within ourselves. But for the first experience chickenpox, the antibody concentration will go like this. It will increase but still not exceed the immunity level, and it will decrease over time. But for the second line, you need to remember that along with the production of antibody, our body also produces memory cell, which can store all the information regarding the pathogen and also the antibody. So when we are being attacked by for the second time with the same pathogen that caused the chickenpox, our antibody will produce rapidly, which is it will go past through the immunity level, and if it reduced, it will still on the
Immunity level.
yes. So this immunity is considered as permanent immunity. So we cannot get the second experience of chickenpox.
I see, teacher.
Okay, so the second one is active artificial immunity. So active artificial immunity is when we are being injected by vaccines. Okay, so do you have your HPV shot?
Yes, teacher, we already got 2 injections.
Yes. The second injection is called booster injection. So the first time you get injection, your concentration of antibodies will go like this. It will raise slightly and begin to reduce. So when you get the booster injection, your antibody will exceeds the immunity level, and it remains at the above of immunity level. So you will have permanent immunity against the disease. Okay, so can we proceed?
Yes.
So if active can produce antibody by our own body, what about passive? What do you think about passive antibody?
I think that our body are not the one who produce the antibody.
Yes. For passive, our antibody is produced by external sources.
What external sources, teacher?
Okay, external sources, for example of external sources is antiserum, or for example of passive and natural immunity, breast milk or blood through the placenta is an external sources, meaning that it comes outside from our own body.
Oh, I see that.
Okay, so for the passive natural immunity, the example of situation is when the baby drink breast milk from their mother. So in the breast milk itself, it contains the antibody. So when baby drinks the breast milk, the antibody concentration will raise immediately above the immunity
Level.
Yes. However, you can see the difference between passive and active, which is this antibody will decrease below the immunity level. So this type of immunity actually will only maintain for a short period of time. Okay. Next, the last immunity is passive artificial immunity. So, passive artificial immunity is, for example, the situation that you got bitten by snake.
Oh.
So, when you go to the hospital, doctor will give you antiserum shot. In that antiserum shot, it contains the antibody to fight specifically against the poison of snakes. So, when you get that shot, your antibody concentration will rise rapidly.
Oh, it's so high, teacher.
Yes, but it will also decrease rapidly against time.
Oh.
Okay, but it's good when you are in immediate need of antibodies. So, when you have a second experience of bitten by snake, you need to go to the hospital again and get your antiserum shot. Okay, so this antiserum shot is not permanent. Every time you got bitten by snake or by bees, you need to go to get the shot to increase your antibody level.
Okay.
Okay, do you understand, class?
Yes, I'm understood, teacher.
Okay, so that is all about the immunity. So I will give you time for toilet break. So we will continue our class after this with quizzes.
Okay, teacher. Alright, teacher. Teacher, may I go out to toilet?
Yes, you should.
Yes,
Thank you,
teacher.
teacher.
Give you permission already.
Okay.